educationist from Sakhar, currently pursuing an MPhil education. MPhil in education at IBA Sakhar. जहाँ तक बात है इनके कैरियर की, माशाल्लाह, they are passionate about civic education and social justice. Sir Mohsin has made a significant contribution through volunteer work across various platforms. Notably, जिनमें significantly इन्होंने perform किया है, इन्होंने नारी फाउंडेशन, NARI फाउंडेशन एंड UN civic education, facilitating vital community initiatives. In response, जो माशाल्लाह they have done a tremendous job in response to the recent Sindh floods. जैसा कि हमको पता है कि that was a natural disaster. Mohsin played a significant crucial role in providing emergency support to affected communities. His commitment to promoting inclusive communities, a social justice, and education underscores his invaluable contribution to creating positive changes. Thank you, sir. Here we go. Let's start.
Thank you so much, Gulzar, for such a lovely introduction and a very lengthy introduction of mine. As you all know, I'm Mohsin Ali, and I just want to correct Gulzar. I'm from the batch of 2022, not 2023. So I traveled in 2022. So I'm not the recent one, but I'm the older one. That's why I've contributed a lot. So
It's okay, sir.
yeah, that being said, I would like to, I hope all of you know about SUSI exchange program. So it stands for Study of United States Institutes. And specifically, this program is for university students, those who are studying in their fourth, fifth, or sixth semester, and they have left one semester in their degree programs. So they are eligible to apply. For further like formal discussion, I would like to, share a PowerPoint that I have made with you all. And after presentation, if you guys have any questions, you can shoot on me like all the questions that you have, all the queries that you can just ask related to program, related to program format, related to personal statement and the essay questions that you have to write. Whatever questions you have, I will try to focus more on that part, like your questions more on that, but I will be spending less time on the presentation because you all are aware. That's why you all are here. You all have idea that what SUSI is about and what are their criteria and do's and don'ts of form, etc. So without further ado, I would like to share my PowerPoint. Let me know that you all can listen that. Is it visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Naz. So I have already shared that this program is specifically for students who are undergraduate, and it's for the student leaders, those students who are active in their universities or in their communities. They are the most suitable candidate for this program. This is not for all, and it's not an academic program, but it's a leadership program. So it is most suitable for those students who are actively involved in their university societies or extracurricular activities. They are part of other programs as well within their universities, on campus or off campus. They are more eligible, and they are highly recommended to apply for this program. It's a 6-week intensive summer program focused on public policy for undergraduate students from any background, be it medical, doctor, engineers. I'm from education background, so I applied for that as well. And students from any kind of background, they can apply for this program. It's open for all, even for lawyers and any kind of. It provides a deeper understanding of the United States systems. You get to interact with lots of professors from different domains. For instance, you will be meeting professors from public policy. You will be meeting professors from law. You will be meeting real life politicians who are sitting in the office, in the United States, and basically your purpose is to compare the policies of Pakistan with of the US. So it's a comparative public policy program, and this program happens at the University of Massachusetts in Amherst. So all the coursework that you do, there are different morning sessions where you learn and interact with your professors. Industry people do join us, and then politicians do join us, and then in the evening you go to visit different local communities, like be it church community or community of your interest, wherever you are interested, you can visit after your university sessions. This happens like for 4 weeks, like you study for the 4 weeks in the university, and after that, this program has kind of a kind of 2 weeks study tour as well, where you go to different cities of USA. You travel to New York, you travel to Washington DC, Virginia, and Charlesville and Philadelphia, some others as well. So you meet different kind of politicians, active politicians over there. You go to your own country's high commission as well. So we visited to Pakistan's high commission as well, and this program also have a lot of other benefits as well, apart from traveling, all that. You get hands-on experience while meeting with current policymakers over there. So, for instance, I'm from education background, so I got a chance to meet people who make educational policies of USA. So, for instance, if you are from the health background, you get chance to meet with doctors, high-profile doctors who are making policies for the hospitals and for let me just finish, this presentation. Then we will be having a Q&A session. You can ask as many questions as you want. I will try to, entertain all of your questions. And so interestingly, I'm from the batch of 2021. So I got selected in 2021 while I was undergrad. But due to COVID-19, we couldn't go in 2021, but we then traveled to, so our program happened in two segments. So because of the COVID, we couldn't go to US in 2021, but in 2022, we went to US. So our program was divided into two portions. One was virtual component, and another was in-person component. So this is some glimpses of from the virtual component. So in-person component that we went, during June 2022, because it's a summer program. What kind of things you learn about the culture of America and the policy making and other things, and also you try to, and you also get a chance to represent your culture as well. So cultural diversity is one of the key elements that we experienced firsthand. Obviously, you become kind of ambassador of your own culture, and you go in the US and you represent your culture over there. You get chance to do presentations and cultural kind of shows that give you opportunity to represent your culture as well. You do networking with the local residents and group mates. So what they do, they assign you a kind of mentor who is an American, and within that kind of group, there are people from your own diversity of your own country is also there. So then, like in one group, people from different parts of Pakistan are also included, apart from American group mates. We do a lot of hands-on activities and hands-on sessions, focusing on various skills, and broad range of topics as well. For instance, public policy making and design thinking, leadership, brand writing, and blogging. These kind of topics were like daily activities of us. Apart from learning about journalism, apart from learning about politics of USA and other stuff. During after classes, you go to your field visits as well, and recreational activities happens on the daily basis. So the university is in Amherst town, So Emirates Town is also a vibrant kind of community, and there are so many interesting things to do in the Emirates. So we visited Emirates Survival Center, which was a local NGO who used to give food to those who cannot afford. So you get a chance to work in community centers, and you go there and you become volunteer of that particular organization, which is of your interest. And during our study tours, we went to New York and we went to Boston. We visited MIT, the very famous MIT, and we also went to Harvard. We went to Google, headquarters, and United Nations headquarters as well. And it's a lifelong mentorship and guidance. So once you finish your program, the mentorship and the guidance is continue. So whether you are not in US, or if you are in US, whether you are here in Pakistan, the mentorship and guidance is still continuing. So we have our own group of our own batch, and the larger community, SUSI community of overall Pakistani group as well. And also you become part of Pak US Alumni Network as well. So there are 13 active alumni groups in every city of Pakistan, and there are 13 active groups. So you become part of that as well once you return from the US. This is like a few glimpses of our in-person component. We are at the Boston Lagoon Airport, and this is kind of classroom that in which we study and interact. And this is after our classes, we are at Emirates Survival Center. We're used to volunteer, and this is the cultural representation. So in this picture, you can see all colors of Pakistan. This was like we were just ready for the culture night. So what is the selection timeline? So firstly, you submit the online form. I will guide you from where you can get form. Only official website is there. You can just download that form, fill it out in the Word format, and then submit on provided email, which is mentioned in the embassies website. So interviews is after you submit your online form along with all the details. It is just only form. There is no other supplement document that you have to present with the form. So interview happens in the first week of January. Most probably, it's a telephonic interview, or they can also call you on Zoom. And the final results are there in April or early May. And after that, your visa and passport process get started, and you apply for a J1 visa, and they do support in obtaining visa, etc. And then in summer, in the start of the June, you travel to United States for your study program. The eligibility criteria is very simple. You must be 18 to 25 years old, and you have at least one semester left in your undergraduate studies. I've already mentioned that from any department, any domain, you can apply, and you should be interested in local, state, and federal public policy making. It's not like directly that you are aligned with policymakers or you are part of policy making. Even at the university level, if you are active member of any society and you are making sort of policies, or you are interested in community services, or you are actively involved in the youth development activities, you are very much a strong candidate for this program. I would highly encourage you to apply for this. And you must possess strong leadership qualities. Obviously, when you are part of different societies and different different activities you are on and you are working in, so I think you almost possess these strong leadership qualities. And your GPA should be good. It should be 3 plus, not like the highest one, but it should be like in good way. And your involvement in extracurricular activities on campus and off campus is very necessary, because this program requires not only just academic things, but also kind of extracurricular things as well, where you have to plan your own activities and you have to execute your own activities while being in the US. So you should be very active. How they shortlist? Uh, it is based on English language fluency, if you must be just you must have kind of understanding level of language. It's not necessary that you have like very good language like 8 plus or 7 plus eyes, etc. No, it's not like that. You should have kind of understanding level of English language. You should be fluent in English. You can just read and write in English language. English is not that kind of highest criteria. It is purely on your personal statement and essay questions. The response that you kind of give in your personal statement and essay questions, it is highly based on that. Your academic achievement is also important. If you have good awards and you have academic programs, or you have sort of a scholarship, you are availing any, so these are kind of good green flags for you to consider yourself that you would be making it to the final round. You must have commitment to community and extracurricular activities. I have already mentioned that you should be actively involved in extracurricular activities, be it inside university or like outside university. And you must be committed to returning home to complete their degree. So, for instance, if you are in your sixth semester, you are most eligible because after coming back, you will be completing your degree. If you are in your final semester, I won't recommend you to apply because there are no chances that you are going to get in because you don't have any semester left, right, after applying this. So having a semester left in your degree after coming back to your program is a must thing. This program is directly managed by the US Embassy. Application info is available at the US Embassy's website. It is the only authentic resource and authentic source to apply for this program. There are so many other websites out there. Do not follow those because they do not update their information, and mostly student when they apply to the wrong email. They send their form to the wrong email. So only US Embassy's website, copy that particular email from the US Embassy's website and then send it to directly to that. Do not copy from the other third party websites which offer sort of information about this program. No need of submitting certificates, resume or recommendations, even transcripts. No, not at all. You do not require any kind of certification. The simple word form is the only thing that you need to submit. Apart from that, apart from that, make sure that emails and contacts and whatsoever you are mentioning in that particular form are active throughout the process of your application. If your email is like old one and you have given this right now, because mostly people get stuck into it and they share their email which they do not longer use. So I would recommend that use email or contact number that is active. And the last date for this year's program is November 11th. Do not rely on the last date or deadline. Is as soon as possible. If you are done with filling out form, just submit it. Do not wait till the last date and the deadline, because their system, you all are aware about how system works. So it would be really great if you apply before the deadline, at least 2 to 3 days before the deadline. So what is included in the form? Other than the basic information and your academic grades and your background and your extracurricular activities, all these things are very important. The personal statement and short answer questions. Personal statement asks you to write about yourself and your goals and why you think your background and interest make you competitive for this particular institute or like a particular program. So you have to write this in this, like the response of this question in 250 words. Try to focus on these four elements. So other than these two, there is another part. What will you contribute to the group, and how do you expect this experience will affect you personally or professionally? Try to be as honest as possible. You do not have to portray that you are a kind of superwoman or superman. you have to just portray whatsoever you are, whatever tiny contribution that you have done, you have to mention that. If you are active member of any society, just mention that you are an active member of the society. You do not have to mention that you have initiated this society or you have done that and that. You do not have to brag about such high kind of things. Do not consider like mentioning those things. If you have done a very tiny little thing, just mention that. uh, and also try to ask yourself what is your particular particular area of social justice or particular area of interest that you are completely concerned about, that you always that you always strive for, and you are always up for that cause, and your entire experiences are based on that particular cause. Just try to beat on that, particularly just focus on that particular area. For instance, education, or sort of, for example, I come from civic education background, so my experiences and my entire personal statement was just focusing on that particular thing. If you have done any social activities or your degree is also linked with climate change, just focus on climate change. Do not mention different part of things. If you are a lawyer, just mention that uh, how your experiences are connected with the degree and how you have contributed socially. So you have to mention that. If and also tell us about kind of what kind of experiences you are bringing on the table for the group that you will be with, specifically the Pakistani group and the American group. What kind of experiences you are bringing on the table? So try to mention that as well. In short answer questions, which are around like 150 to 250 words, there are two questions in which you have to mention that if you like this form is from the previous one, might be the questions are different this year. I'm not sure because I haven't checked the this time they have put eligibility criteria test. Once they follow the eligibility criteria test, then they are giving them form. So make sure you pass that eligibility criteria test, and then they will be allowing you to download the form. So try to give question response to these questions based on the cause that you are focusing on. It shouldn't be generic. It shouldn't be very general. It must be aligned with your objectives and with your degree, with your experiences. Alignment and having a cohesive kind of response is very important, which is aligned with your goals as well and objectives as well. Uh, Do's of SOP personal statement. As I've already mentioned, that be as specific as possible and focus theme in alignment is the key. Like I've already shared that focus on one particular theme. Do not mention that I worked on climate change, I worked on education, I also worked on civic education, I worked on GBV, gender-based violence, etc. Do not try to make a chart of all the themes that you are working in. Just mention one theme that you are focused and holistically, and that is your core value. Just focus on that. Try to be concise and be you. They are also looking for some applicants who are authentic and who are bringing very unique experiences. So, and every human is a unique, and everybody who is on this planet is unique, and they have different experiences. So do not try to portray yourself from the mentor or from the if you have an ideal in your mind, just do not try to portray yourself like that. Just be you. Your story is very important, and take it as a process, not a product. Writing is always a process, right? Not a product. So once you are starting writing down, try to get it proofread from someone, and then get feedback, and then incorporate that feedback, and then follow this cycle. So once you are completely satisfied with your responses, then you should submit it. Do not consider it as a product that in one go you are going to just finish this. It takes time. Writing takes time, right? So try to consider it as a sort of process, not as a product. Avoid listing your experiences. Instead, mention that what we have learned or achieved from them. Uh, as I've already mentioned, that you do not have to list down all the experiences that you are doing. Just mention those experiences with are aligned with the theme that you are focused on, right? So for instance, if your experiences are related with climate change, just mention those that I worked at and I learned from this. Like, for instance, I learned public policy, like public speaking skills from this particular program, right? Uh, Try to mention that. Do not list down like I've done this on this day, I've done this a particular activity on this day, I've organized this program on this date. Do not just list them down. Try to mention in a more humanistic way, because other side there is a human who is reading your form. So try to mention that you have got this particular skill from that particular program, which is again aligned with your personal statement and interest or thematic area that you are focusing on. Do not plagiarize, do not use AI or any other software, right? You all are aware about the plagiarism policies and AI policies. You are very much aware. If you are a university student, you already have the idea how harmful it can be. And do not lie or exaggerate. As I mentioned that if you were a member of particular society, just mention that you were a member and these were the activities and these were the responsibilities as a member. You do not have to mention that or exaggerate that you have initiated this or you have brought this huge change in society. Do not have to exaggerate it. Focus on the word limit, of course, because obviously they have given this particular criteria for the word limit. You have to follow that. Otherwise, using fancy jargon, do not use words which you even do not know what is the meaning of, or just in order to sound fancy, sound like very much sort of like just do not use fancy words. Just write in a very natural flow, which is your own way and which is your own style of writing. After completing SUSI, as I've already mentioned, that participants eligible to become Pak US Alumni Network on. There are 13 chapters across Pakistan and more than 30,000 alumni of different programs. You become eligible to apply for small projects and grants, mentorship opportunities, and you visit. There are so many things happening all around the country and outside of the country as well. You get chance to visit other countries as well after you come back. So for instance, if I talk about myself, I went US back in 2022, but as I become member of Pak US Alumni Network, I traveled to the Nepal for NMUN, for Model United Nations, uh, you know, um, program, which was organized by US Embassy Nepal. So I attended that as well. It was just possible because I was part of Pak US Alumni Network. So there are so many other opportunities as well. You can initiate your own small projects. There are so many grant cycles that open over the year, and alumni from all across Pakistan become eligible to apply for those grants as well. Thank you so much for listening, very actively. Your questions, are welcome. And if you have any query, you have any questions, I'm more than, open to respond to those questions.
जी सर, थैंक यू फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग सच अ वेल लेक्चर. देखिए, आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट ऑल द पार्टिसिपेंट्स, जिस तरह से आप लोगों ने इतने अच्छे तरीके से डिसिप्लिन वे से सर को लिसन किया है, इसी तरह आपने अपने क्वेश्चंस को जो है वो सर के सामने रखना है एंड आपको उसके आंसर्स मिल जाएंगे. आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट कि आपने क्वेश्चन इस तरह से करने हैं कि मिनिमम टाइम के अंदर आपका क्वेश्चन जो है वो अपनी पूरी मीनिंग दे रहा हो. सम टाइम ऐसे होता है कि स्टूडेंट को क्वेश्चन पुट नहीं करना आ रहा होता, तो आप लोगों ने अपने क्वेश्चन अच्छे तरीके से और थोड़े टाइम पीरियड के अंदर रखने, ताकि मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स जो है उनको क्वेश्चंस करने का मौका मिल जाए. जी सईद हैं, आई थिंक वो क्वेश्चन कर सकते हैं. जी गो सईद.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मोहसिन भाई, सबसे पहले तो शुक्रिया आपका बहुत बहुत. मोहसिन भाई, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि मैं सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर डिपार्टमेंट से हूँ, तो कैन आई मेंशन द प्रोजेक्ट दैट आई मेड ड्यूरिंग द होल डिग्रीज. एंड सेकंड क्वेश्चन इज कि आफ्टर राइटिंग द होल एसओपी और ऐसे, can we use chat gpt or any AI tool to proofread it or structuring it?
थैंक यू सो मच फॉर सच अ नाइस क्वेश्चन। मैंने जैसे मेंशन किया कि इफ योर project is aligned with any social cause, obviously if you are making any project तो वो होगा किसी social cause से related। और जिस cause के लिए आप जो है वो काम करते हैं, activities में involve होते हैं, अगर वो project उस काम से related है, उस particular area से या theme से related है, तो do mention that, why not? It's a great chance to you have to portray yourself that you are multitasking person, but at the same time you have to be very focused on particular theme, right? The second part, AI use, you can use AI for ideation. No one is letting you hold on that, but you cannot use it for proofread, right? So for instance, uh, you know about AI policy. If you're copying that particular segment from AI and then you are submitting it, or you are kind of splitting it and or you are humanizing it, obviously it comes under the area of pledge, or the you know it comes under the again it would be called AI generated. But if you are using AI as a kind of a mentor, you are writing it and then you are giving it to AI, and then the AI is giving you suggestions, and you are editing those suggestions by yourself in other document, not copy pasting from that, then you can use it, but use it wisely. You are aware, you are from computer science department, you know how to use it. I hope I have
जी
responded to your
जी जी नेक्स्ट
question.
अली इमरान। जी अली इमरान, गो अहेड।
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मोहसिन भाई। मेरा ना पहला क्वेश्चन है कि जो आपने पॉलिसी के लिए कहा, तो जो पॉलिसी है ये किस टाइप की होनी चाहिए, और जो आपने लिखी थी वो कैसी थी? और दूसरा मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि ना लाइक हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी में ना रीजनल प्लान 9 चलता है, वहाँ पे बंदे ने एक दिया हुआ है, मतलब मैं वहाँ पे ना फाउंडर हूँ एक आइडिया का, तो क्या मैं उसको मेंशन कर सकता हूँ एज अ फाउंडर?
Thank you so much, Imran, for your question. Again, अगर वो प्रोजेक्ट और आइडिया और कोई भी इनिशिएटिव रिलेटेड है उस पर्टिकुलर थीम से जिसके लिए आप जो है वो काफी इंटरेस्टेड हो, और आप मेंशन करना चाह रहे हो कि फॉर एग्जांपल मैं इस पर्टिकुलर एरिया में इंटरेस्टेड हूँ, मैं इस पॉलिसी को ठीक करना चाहता हूँ पाकिस्तान की, और मैंने इस पाकिस्तान की पॉलिसी को देखा है, इसमें फ्लॉज हैं और मैं ये चेंज करना चाहता हूँ, और मैं इसी पॉलिसी को चेंज करने के लिए ये वाला जो प्रोजेक्ट है ये मैंने किया है। अगर इस तरह से एक अलाइनमेंट बन रही है तो डू मेंशन दैट। एंड वी डू नॉट मेक एनी पॉलिसी फॉर्म के अंदर। हम पोर्ट्रे करते हैं अपनी पर्सनल स्टेटमेंट में कि आई विल बी वर्किंग ऑन दिस पॉलिसी आफ्टर कमिंग बैक। इस तरीके से जो मैंने लिखी थी, मेरा सिविक एजुकेशन से ताल्लुक है, आई एम फ्रॉम एजुकेशन बैकग्राउंड, टीचर एजुकेशन प्रोग्राम, बट मेरा जो काम है वो सिविक एजुकेशन के ऊपर है, जिसमें लोगों को जाके अवेयर करना उनके राइट्स के बारे में, उनकी पॉलिटिकल इन्वॉल्वमेंट के बारे में। तो मेरा जो काम है और मेरे जो एक्सपीरियंसेस है सारे उससे अलाइन कर रहे थे, तो मैंने वो ही पोर्ट्रे किया। और जो पॉलिसी थी या जो करिकुलम जिस पे मैंने फोकस किया था, कि जो मैंने पर्सनल स्टेटमेंट में लिखा था, वो ये था कि मैं सिविक एजुकेशन की पॉलिसी में चेंज लाना चाहूँगा थ्रू करिकुलम, कि हर बच्चे को या हर एक शहरी को उनको एटलीस्ट उनका हक पता होना चाहिए कि उनके हकूक क्या है। सो मेरा ये डोमेन था। हर इंसान का या हर एक स्टूडेंट का एक अपना डोमेन होता है जो उसके ऊपर काम करना चाहता है। कोई क्लाइमेट चेंज के ऊपर काम करता है, वो चाहे वो भले सीएस का ही क्यों ना हो, लेकिन उसकी जो सॉफ्टवेयर होंगे या उसके जो प्रोजेक्ट्स होंगे वो अलाइन करते होंगे क्लाइमेट चेंज के साथ। तो इसी तरीके से आपको एक अपनी थीम मालूम करनी है कि आप कौन सी थीम के ऊपर काम करते हो, और उस थीम में कौन से फ्लॉज हैं जो पाकिस्तानी पॉलिसी में मतलब मेंशन किए गए हैं, और अमेरिका में वो किस तरीके से। तो आपको इस तरीके से एक स्टोरी काइंड ऑफ फॉर्मेट बनाना है जिसमें ऑब्वियसली ये सारी चीजें मेंशन हो।
I hope Ali Imran, you got your point. Next, we will move to Tuba Azim. Ji Tuba Azim, go ahead, please.
Hello everyone. First of all, thank you so much for such an informative session. So basically, I have two questions. So I am a medical student, a second year medical student, and I have like my program is of 5 years. So first question is that I'm eligible for it or not, and secondly, the second question is that I'm currently working on two research projects that are going to ultimately lead to policy making, but they're not actually at that stage of policy making yet, but I did like have conducted some awareness sessions and those kind of things. So can you please guide me how can I put this up, especially for example if I have done some awareness sessions and I have links of those awareness sessions, can I put those links while answering those questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tuba, for such a comprehensive questions, and you are doing great job. Obviously, you are eligible for this program, and in our court, and I know from the recent batch, so many doctors. One of my best friend was also a doctor, and he was from BVM, but mostly medical doctors were also there with us on board. So you are eligible for this particular program, and we do not take policies directly, we just learn about policies. If your particular project or if your particular research that you are working on is focusing on public health, of course it would be on public health or any other area. So again, it's coming under the policy. So policy is not just what we have a misconception about policies, that policies are always at a bigger level, right? Though they are at a bigger level, but it can be shrinked at a particular organizational level or even the classroom level. So we do not have to focus on the larger policies all the time, but even we can just highlight one simple tiny policy as well. So I would highly encourage you to apply for this, and do mention that moving towards the link thing, I won't suggest and I won't recommend that you should give links to those particular particular kind of programs that you have organized. You can mention the name and date and what you have learned from those programs in the segment where you need to mention these activities, that these activities I have initiated or I was part of. So in those particular activities you can just mention those, but there is no need of giving links, because when they will be conducting interview, they will be asking so many relevant questions from those activities as well. So they are experienced ones, and once they shortlist students, they take very extensive interviews from them. So I don't think so you need to mention those links while responding to your questions. In questions and personal statement, I would not recommend to use links at all, but in the form, I hope you have opened up that form. In the form where you have to mention the experiences and activities, you can add if you think like I should mention, and they are very much cohesively and comprehensively uploaded on particular websites. If they are in a very good format, you think like there is good caption and which is like aligned with your activity, there are pictures as an evidence, then you can just aid. But in the experiences and activity format, not in personal statement and your responses. Your responses are based only on your thoughts and the ideas behind your responses. I hope I have responded to your questions effectively. Any other question?
Ji, thank you to Azim for making such a good question. The next our participant is Muhammad Nasir. Ji, Muhammad Nasir, please mention your question.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर। सर जी, मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन तो ये था कि मेरा 5वां सेमेस्टर है प्लांट ब्रीडिंग एंड जेनेटिक्स, तो क्या मैं इस स्कॉलरशिप के लिए अहल हूँ या नहीं? और दूसरा सर सवाल ये था कि जो है ना, आपने कहा कि जो है ना फॉर्म डाउनलोड करके जो है ना आप सबमिट करवा सकते हैं, यानी उनको पर्सनली मेल पे। तो सर क्या हम ऑनलाइन भी सबमिट करा सकते हैं या उनको मेल करना पड़ेगा?
Thank you so much, Nasik, for your question. So you are in 5th semester right? You will be traveling to the US in June and July till like August. So if you think like there is a semester left, I hope your semester. I just want to know your degree is 8 semester long, right? It's a 4 years degree.
Yes,
Yes, sir,
sir.
it's a
Yes, sir.
4 year.
All right. Yeah, then you are eligible because you have kind of 2 semesters left to complete your degree. So you are most eligible for this. I think, yeah, you can apply for this. The second thing is that there is no ऑनलाइन फॉर्म. बस ऑनलाइन फॉर्म में ये है कि एक छोटी सी उन्होंने टेस्ट डेवलप की है जिसमें आपको पता चल जाता है कि आप एलिजिबल हो या नहीं. उसमें डेट ऑफ बर्थ देनी है, आपको इंस्टीट्यूट देना है, कुछ और क्वेश्चन है कि आप ड्यूअल सिटीजन तो नहीं है या पाकिस्तान से बाहर तो नहीं रहते, इस तरह के कुछ सवाल हैं. उसके बाद जैसे ही वो आप टेस्ट क्लियर कर देते हो, आपको कहते हैं कि आप डाउनलोड करें फॉर्म. वो फॉर्म आपको डाउनलोड करना है अपने कंप्यूटर में, कंप्लीटली फिल करना है हैंड बाय हैंड. मतलब इन वर्ड फॉर्मेट, आपको प्रिंट करके हाथ से नहीं भरना. उसी फॉर्म को जो है ना वर्ड फॉर्मेट में MS वर्ड के अंदर फिल करना है. MS वर्ड के अंदर फिल करके उसको कंप्लीटली आप जो है PDF में कन्वर्ट करके और दोनों आप भेज दें, वर्ड भी भेज दें और PDF भी भेज दें, दोनों ईमेल के थ्रू. कोई और जो है ना साइट नहीं है, कोई और जरिया नहीं है इसको अपलोड करने का. ईमेल इज द ओनली वे. जो एम्बेसी की वेबसाइट पे दी गई है वो ईमेल, किसी और थर्ड पार्टी वेबसाइट पे नहीं जहाँ पे एडवर्टाइजमेंट की गई हो इस प्रोग्राम की, या फेसबुक पे किसी ने दे दी हो, क्योंकि बहुत सारी ईमेल्स चेंज होती रहती हैं, राइट? तो लास्ट ईयर ये हुआ था कि काफी लोगों ने, इवन फ्रॉम सखर IBA जहाँ पे मैं अभी जो है वो इनरोल्ड हूँ, इस यूनिवर्सिटी से भी मोस्टली लोगों ने ये गलती की थी कि उन्होंने कहीं से बस उसने शेयर कर दी किसी ग्रुप से उठा के ईमेल भेज दी. उनकी जो है वो उनको एप्लीकेशन ही सबमिट नहीं हुई. तो यूएस एम्बेसी की आप यूएस एम्बेसी पाकिस्तान लिखेंगे गूगल पे और जो वेबसाइट आ रही है उस वेबसाइट में जाके एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया पास करके फॉर्म डाउनलोड करके और उन्हीं की इंस्ट्रक्शंस को फॉलो करके जो पर्टिकुलर ईमेल दी गई है आपको उसको ईमेल करना है जीमेल के थ्रू, या कोई भी आप चैनल जो यूज करते हो, हॉटमेल और अदर 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 थिंग्स. बट आई वुड रिकमेंड कि आप अपनी पर्सनल जो जीमेल यूज करते हो रोजमर्रा की लाइफ में, तो आप उसी ईमेल से अपना फॉर्म सबमिट करो उसी फॉर्मेट में जो उन्होंने कहा है. एनी अदर
Okay, sir.
क्वेश्चन?
Thank.
Ji, thank you, Mohammed Nasir. And here we go with Anis. Anis, please put your question.
हेलो अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर. सबसे पहले तो आपका बहुत ज़्यादा शुक्रिया इस तरह वो अरेंज करने, क्योंकि हम इस तरह एरिया से ताल्लुक़ रखते हैं जहाँ ये चीज़ें जो है ना बहुत मुश्किल से पहुँचती है. नाउ आई एम करंटली लिविंग इन पेशावर, तो इसलिए वो उस्मान और इन सब लोग की वजह से जो है ना ये चीज़ें हमें जो है ना वो प्रोवाइड होती है, लेकिन उसका भी चेंज हुआ सबका. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था सर कि अभी मैं नाउ आई एम थर्ड सेमेस्टर स्टूडेंट, और क्या मैं एलिजिबल हूँ इसके लिए? और दूसरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि अभी मेरा 2 सेमेस्टर का GPA 2.74 है, CGPA. तो क्या ये कोई इफेक्ट डालेगा कि मेरे एप्लीकेशन पर कि नहीं? क्योंकि अगर लोग की अगर आप देख ले तो 6 सेमेस्टर वाले भी अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, 5th सेमेस्टर वाले भी कर रहे हैं. तो अगर उनका CGPA बनता है तो वो तो ज्यादा भी हो सकता है, कम भी हो सकता है. अगर मेरा उनका कंपैरिजन करेगा तो थर्ड सेमेस्टर के साथ करेंगे, यानी इस तरह वो डायरेक्ट जो है ना वो GPA निकाल के जो है ना सेलेक्ट करते हैं. तो इसके बारे में मैं थोड़ा क्वेरी तक कि इसका क्या वो करते हैं GPA का. तो यही था सब कुछ.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anis. Thank you so much. And we have very, good friends from Peshawar as well, जो कि सूजी का पार्ट थे हमारे साथ. और अगर आप थर्ड सेमेस्टर में हैं और आपको लगता है कि आपकी जो एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज हैं या जो आपकी कैंपस पे इन्वॉल्वमेंट है या कम्युनिटी में इन्वॉल्वमेंट है वो बहुत ज्यादा है, ठीक है, 2.7 इज गुड GPA, राइट? आप GPA, आप सिर्फ ये समझने की जरूरत है कि यूएस के अंदर सिर्फ GPA की बेसिस पे या इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज की बुनियाद पे सिलेक्ट नहीं किया जाता. वो चाहे वो इस तरह के प्रोग्राम्स हो या फिर यूनिवर्सिटीज की एडमिशन हो, वो होलिस्टिकली एप्लीकेशंस को देखते हैं कि स्टूडेंट बिलोंग किस एरिया से करता है, उसके पास अपॉर्चुनिटीज कैसी हैं, वो किस पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन से जो है वो यूनिवर्सिटी तक आया है. या यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर उसकी और कौन सी इन्वॉल्वमेंट्स हैं, क्या उसने रिसर्च पेपर पब्लिश किया है, या किसी सोसाइटी का या किसी कम्युनिटी का या क्लब का पार्ट है। तो ये सारी चीजें, ये सारे फैक्टर्स, या वो अपनी कम्युनिटी के अंदर कितना एक्टिव है, उसने अपनी कम्युनिटी के अंदर कौन कौन सी चीजें की है, तो ये सारी होलिस्टिकली देखी जाती हैं। तो इससे आप अपने आप को सेल्फ रिजेक्ट ना करें, सेल्फ रिजेक्शन की तरफ ना जाएं। जो क्राइटेरिया है, जो पर्टिकुलर एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया है, आप उस टेस्ट को पहले जाके वेबसाइट पे देखें कि अगर आप एलिजिबल हो जाते हैं तो आप अपना फॉर्म जो है वो भरना स्टार्ट करें, क्योंकि डेट ऑफ बर्थ और ये सारी चीजें भी उसमें मेंशन है। तो अगर आप एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया की टेस्ट पास कर देते हैं और आपके पास वो फॉर्म की लिंक आ जाती है तो आप एलिजिबल हो। और ये ना आप सोचें कि मेरी जीपीए कम है, मेरी इंग्लिश अच्छी नहीं है, या मैं इस एरिया से बिलोंग करता हूँ, मेरी एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज इतनी ज्यादा नहीं है। जस्ट गिव इट अ ट्राई, सेल्फ रिजेक्ट ना करें अपने आप को।
ओके सर, और एक ही सिर्फ ये क्वेश्चन था कि मेरा जो है ना, मैं एक सिनेमेटोग्राफर भी हूँ ना, तो क्या मैं इसको इंक्लूड कर सकता हूँ कि आई हैव डन मैंने प्रोजेक्ट, क्योंकि मैंने डिस्ट्रिक्ट के सतह पर भी कुछ वीडियोग्राफी की थी, यूनिवर्सिटी इंटर यूनिवर्सिटी के इंटर यूनिवर्सिटीज गेम्स थे, उसमें एज ऑफिशियल वीडियोग्राफर था। तो मेरा फील्ड तो नर्सिंग है, लेकिन इसमें तो है ना, अगर मैं ऐड करूंगा तो ये कर सकता हूँ मैं। थैंक यू सर।
अगर आप ये समझते हो कि उस इवेंट को बेहतर बनाने के लिए या उस इवेंट की मेमोरीज को रिकॉर्ड करने के लिए, और वो जो इवेंट आपने किया था वो आपकी डिग्री के साथ अलाइन था, राइट? तो ये भी एक अच्छी मतलब एक्टिविटी है कि आपने मेंशन किया है कि आप एक्स्ट्रा करि एक पर्टिकुलर स्किल है आपके अंदर, जो कि उस पर्टिकुलर इश्यूज को या उस पर्टिकुलर प्रोग्राम को जो कि अलाइन था आपकी थीम से, उसको हाईलाइट किया है। तो व्हाई नॉट टू मेंशन दैट? अगर आप उसको, चीज कोई भी हो, लेकिन उसको इस तरीके से अलाइन करना है कि वो आपकी उस पर्टिकुलर थीम, उस पर्टिकुलर एरिया ऑफ इंटरेस्ट से मैच करे, उसको
ओके
मोल्ड
थैंक
इस तरीके से करना है।
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
नो
जी
प्रॉब्लम
अनीस,
अनीस।
थैंक यू सो मच। जी नेक्स्ट पार्टिसिपेंट इज फजल अब्बास। जी फजल अब्बास, क्वेश्चन करें।
सर मैं मेरी फील्ड है एग्रीकल्चर एग्रोनॉमी। मैंने अभी रिसेंटली बैचलर कंप्लीट किया और मेरा सवाल ये है, क्या मैं इस स्कॉलरशिप के लिए एलिजिबल हूँ? ये है कि सर
अगर
मैं
आपने अभी ग्रेजुएशन की है और कोई सेमेस्टर आपका रहता नहीं है यहाँ पर, तो आप एलिजिबल नहीं हो, क्योंकि एक सेमेस्टर का यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर होना, एटलीस्ट एक सेमेस्टर का होना, वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। फ्रेश ग्रेजुएट्स आर नॉट एलिजिबल।
राइट सर। चलिए सर, ये तो फिर खाता यहाँ पे क्लोज हो गया। और सेकंड थिंग सर, आप प्लीज़ अपना पर्सनल जो है हमें व्हाट्सअप नंबर जरूर शेयर कीजिएगा फॉर फर्दर मोर इंफॉर्मेशन और स्कॉलरशिप यूएस और अदर कंट्रीज। दिस इज
जरूर,
और हम
बट
ओके।
यू शुड अप्लाई फॉर फुलब्राइट। फुलब्राइट एक बहुत अच्छी स्कॉलरशिप है। आई होप यू नो अबाउट फुलब्राइट, so try to try to get information about Fulbright as well for master's program.
सर ये कब से स्टार्ट हो रही है?
जी फजल अब्बास,
Sorry
इसकी
फजल,
इंफॉर्मेशन आपको
जी
इंशाल्लाह, हाँ फजल, ये जो आपको इंफॉर्मेशन है इंशाल्लाह ये हमारे जितने भी ग्रुप्स और चैनल्स हैं वहाँ पे प्रोवाइडेड है, और यूट्यूब पे हमारे इसके हवाले से वीडियोस पड़ी हैं इंशाल्लाह, वी विल मेंशन दैट ग्रुप। तो आपको इसकी इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाएगी। तो दिस सेशन इज टोटली अबाउट सुजी एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम, दैट्स व्हाई वी नीड टू मूव फॉरवर्ड। थैंक यू फजल। जी नेक्स्ट पार्टिसिपेंट इज फिजा इकराम। जी फिजा, प्लीज पुट योर क्वेश्चन हियर।
Assalamu alaikum. I am Fizai Kram and I am doing chemical engineering from NUST Islamabad. I am a second year student. And my question is, why do you think it is important for women to participate in public policy making? सर इसके बारे में कुछ बता दे, लाइक हमने टू दी पॉइंट बात करनी है, लाइक 250 वर्ड्स में हमने सारा कुछ एक्सप्लेन करना है, तो इसमें हम लंबी चौड़ी बात करेंगे या फिर टू दी पॉइंट रहेंगे, और इसमें कुछ बता दें कि क्या चीज़ ऐसी लाइक इम्प्रेसिव हो, जो कि लाइक कन्विंसिंग हो, अगला जो है लाइक वो एम्बेसी हमें अप्रूव करे हमारी एप्लीकेशन को।
फिजा, अगेन जो आपकी केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग में भी जो भी आपका बैकग्राउंड है, तो उसमें भी आप एक पर्टिकुलर कॉज पर काम कर रही होंगी ना, राइट? और
जी
वुमेन की पार्टिसिपेशन, तो आपको पता है फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स के हिसाब से वुमेन शेयर हाफ ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन, और उनकी पॉलिसीज का होना बहुत जरूरी है, ठीक है? उनकी उनकी से होना पॉलिसी के अंदर, बिकॉज दे आर मेकिंग हाफ ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ एंटायर कंट्री, एंड देयर वॉइस इज वेरी मच इम्पोर्टेंट in order to make any policy, because policies affect every individual, whosoever is part of particular system, or whosoever is affected directly or indirectly from that particular policy that you are focusing on. Obviously women would be affected to that, and women make a huge portion of the population. So जो भी आपकी पॉलिसी है जिस पे आप फोकस कर रहे हो, जो भी पर्टिकुलर इशू है जिस पे आप फोकस कर रहे हो, बीट स्टेम का इशू हो, क्योंकि स्टेम में women जो है वो बिल्कुल कम जाती हैं, राइट? साइंस, टेक्नोलॉजी, इंजीनियरिंग एंड
यस
मैथमेटिक्स जो फील्ड्स हैं, उनके अंदर वुमेन
यस
की
यस
जो पार्टिसिपेशन है वो बिल्कुल लो होती है। तो आप उस तरह की पॉलिसीज को देखो, उस इश्यूज को देखो कि वो क्यों जाती हैं, क्यों नहीं जाती, वो क्यों चूज करती हैं, अदर देन why they don't come into STEM fields, they go to social sciences more. What is leaving them to choose these particular fields? तो कोई भी ऐसा केस उठाएं जो आपके साथ आपसे लिंक करता हो, आपकी डिग्री से और आपकी एक्टिविटीज से, उस केस को लेके पॉलिसीज, तो ऑब्वियसली women are half of the portion, तो उस तरीके से ऐसे ऐसे आप अपना कोई केस बना के प्रेजेंट कर सकते हो, and you can think a lot about it, and I would
सर
encourage
लाइक
you to I would
जी जी
encourage you to get any alumni from NUST. Obviously there are so many SUSI
यस यस
alumni from NUST,
यस योर सर
so try to get in touch with them. Surely they are going to give you one-on-one consultation about your application.
ओके बट ये जो आपने एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के बारे में बताया कि कोई केस उठाएं, वो किस टाइप का केस हो, लाइक कैन यू गिव एन एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस?
So for example, if right now I said STEM के अंदर women की जो participation है वो बिल्कुल लो है। अगर आप facts and figures उठा के देखें या research papers उठा के देखें, तो women की जो participation है वो बिल्कुल लो है, और इससे affect होती है overall women community, because they are sharing the half portion of entire population. तो दूसरे भी और हो सकते हैं जो आपकी फील्ड से रिलेटेड हो, केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग में, या केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग स्पेसिफिकली इज अ पेट्रियार्कल डोमेन, वुमेन की पार्टिसिपेशन बिल्कुल लो होती है। तो वो क्यों लो होती है, या जो केमिकल कारपोरेशन हैं उनमें क्यों लो है, तो इस तरह के ये केसेस हैं ना, तो आप इनके ऊपर एक पॉलिसी को देखें कि कौन कौन सी पॉलिसीज हैं जो पाकिस्तान के अंदर रनिंग है बट उनके अंदर फ्लॉज हैं, और अगर आप उनकी जगह पे
ओके थिंक
होंगी तो क्या इस तरीके से आप जो है उस पर्टिकुलर इशू को एड्रेस करेंगी।
ओके थैंक यू सो मच।
जी
आई
थैंक यू
होप
फिजा फॉर मेकिंग कंट्रीब्यूशन। जी नेक्स्ट हमारे जो पार्टिसिपेंट हैं, जी अलीना, आप क्वेश्चन करें।
Assalamu alaikum. Am I audible?
यस यू आर।
Well, sir, I actually have a couple of questions. First question is कि I'm an intern at Lincoln Corners, right? तो जो eligibility form है वहाँ पे mention है कि if you are somehow linked with US Embassy, you can't apply. So am I not eligible to apply? And if I
Alina,
don't mention,
in which Lincoln corner
yeah,
you are working as a FOC? In which corner you are working as a FOC?
it's actually Fatma Jinnah Women University.
All right, great. I'm former employee of Lincoln Corners. When I was,
Yes, sir.
yeah, so I was coordinator at Lincoln Corners Khairpur. So I am connected with
Sir, which one?
Lincoln Corners as well. Lincoln Corner Khairpur. I was part of Lincoln Corner Khairpur
Uh,
back in 2021 and 2022. So I worked there for 1 year. That's why I have know-how of these structures and all that. Moving
yes,
towards your
sir.
questions. So yeah, Alina, as you know that
So,
Lincoln Corners are not directly aligned with the U.S. Embassy. These are just part of extensions of U.S. Embassy,
yeah,
but these are
Corners
not
of US
directly
Embassy.
part, right? And the management is different. So you are
Yeah.
not directly linked with U.S. Embassy. This is just in
Yeah,
particular
not
student
directly. I mean, it's
activity.
just a corner, yeah. So I don't have to
Yeah,
mention
so
that
you,
I'm a part of US
no,
Embassy, but I
not at all.
can mention events that are included, that are done in Lincoln Corners, right?
Of course, you should mention in your extracurricular activities that you are FOC.
I'm an
It won't
FSA,
give you
Lincoln
kind of
Corner.
a
Should I use
benefit,
the word
but
Lincoln Corner?
why not? Yeah, you should mention that, and even particular mention that particular Lincoln Corner as well. It won't give you edge to your application. Like it's not like
Yes,
important to brag about it, but just as a for kind of
yeah,
extracurricular activity, you can just mention
yeah.
that you are part of FOC as well.
Okay, okay, so I have another question. I have a couple of
Yeah.
certificates related to WHO, World Health Organization, and stuff like that. So how do I mention that? Because I've been only a participant in the event, right? So should I mention that? Yeah, I
What's
participated
your
in food event.
what's your degree program? What's your degree program?
My my degree program is computer arts, visual arts and design.
Okay. And WA, the program that you have attended are completely related with health, right?
Yes, no, it was yeah, kind of awareness program related to malaria.
If they are not directly linked with your degree, I don't think so. You
Yeah,
should mention these. If there is like somehow link between your
yeah,
degree program and your activities that you are up for, or the cause that you are always up for, just mention
yeah.
that. For example, if you have done any kind of health related activity or health related social work, then mention that in order to while doing this particular program, I also try to learn from various programs such as WHO. I attended this program and this program. But again, not in your personal statement, but in the portion where you are supposed to mention your experiences.
The
You do
extracurricular
not have to list down.
section.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You do not have to list down that I've done that, I've done that, I've done that, but rather you should mention, because over there is no word limit, right? You can
yeah,
write one paragraph for each activity as well. For instance, if you have done kind of health related programs, so you can write like,
yeah.
I've initiated this health related program in order to deepen my understanding and deepen my knowledge. I also attended this WHO related programs as well. So this is how you are going to portray your activities. You do not have to list
All
down like
right,
CV.
all right. So I have
Yeah.
another question, hopefully the last one. Like अब हमने किया है like charity वाला वो जो ride होता है food ride during Ramadan. So that's actually something related to policy making, like probably bringing a change in the community, in the society. So should I mention that, right? Because it was wholly, completely we did it independently, you know. So
Um, Again, this is like, something related to community, because, we are Muslim
yeah,
community and we have certain traditions. So you
yeah,
can also cash it in a way that, you can just mold it that, in order to bring cohesion in our community, we organized a kind of, iftar, what was that?
yeah,
Ration drive, right? Yeah, in
yeah.
order to bring
Somehow,
cohesion in our community, in order to bring cohesion in community and bringing different sects and different cultures together on one platform, and we helped people who are in need. Through this program, we created a kind of social cohesion among our community. So this is how you are going to convert this religious activity into the social activity, by giving it,
oh, all
religious
right.
harmony point of view or social cohesion point of view. You can convert that into your social activity, and do mention
Okay,
that
thank
in your
you.
experiences. I hope that makes
Yes,
sense.
yes.
And you can contact your
Sir, can you
coordinator
like,
for this. They will be
yeah,
giving you more extensive, feedback on
all
your
right.
application, I'm sure.
Sir, can we like mention our past jobs? No?
Work and experiences, of course, if they are aligned with your degree program
Degree,
and the
yeah, it
social
is.
causes, then
Yeah.
definitely mention that.
Okay, I don't think it's related to social causes, the graphic designing and stuff, but it is related to my degree.
Yeah, in order to enhance my skills, I got an opportunity to work at so and so organization to develop graphic designing skills so that I can, polish my skills and contribute more in society in an effective manner. This is the, terminologies and language that we use.
Thank you so much, sir.
No problem, Alina. Good luck for your application.
जी, thank you, Alina, for making such a good discussion. The next participant is Nabil Raza. Nabil Raza, are you listening us? जी, Nabil, are
Yes,
you
sir.
there?
Yes.
जी,
यस। अच्छा सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जैसा कि आपने काफ़ी तफसील से बताया कि किस तरह की इनको प्रोफाइल चाहिए। अब आप देखें एक बच्चे के डिग्री के जो सेमेस्टर के मार्क्स, सीजीपीए भी अच्छी है, इसके अलावा उसके पास वॉलंटियर एक्सपीरियंसेस भी हैं, वो कम्युनिटी वर्क भी करता है, हर चीज़ है। तो 30 पार्टिसिपेंट्स पूरे पाकिस्तान से लिए जाएँगे, तो आपके ख़्याल में ज़ाहिर है काफ़ी सारे ही ऐसे लोग होंगे बच्चे जो सब सब अच्छा करते हैं, तो वो कौन-सी मेन चीज़ होगी जिसकी बेस पे सिलेक्शन होगी?
Thank you so much, Nabil, for bringing such a difficult question. You know, I'm an alumni of that particular program. While doing interaction with them or at Lincoln Corners when I used to work, uh, somehow they have a kind of selection criteria. They are focusing on unique cases and unique individuals who are contributing in their society, right? किसी भी area से belong करते हैं. And they have certain parameters. For instance, they are looking at the geographical location, economic condition, their education as well, and their background as well. There is entire background check of each and every candidate before they shortlist them. So again, this is up to you that how effectively you are portraying yourself. हर कोई अच्छा काम करता है. I do agree. हर हर इंसान इंडिविजुअल एक इंडिविजुअल जो है ना वो आइडेंटिटी है, एक केस है, एक यूनिक इंसान जो एक्सपीरियंसेस और पर्सपेक्टिव लाता है. तो ऑब्वियसली बट this is really tough questions, and I am not someone who is evaluating those applications and things, but I'm here to support everyone who is available here on this platform to guide them so that somehow they can make most of their experiences and they can portray their experiences and their unique identities in a more extensive and comprehensive manner.
जी, thank you, Nabil. Next, our participant is Wahab. जी, Wahab, आपका क्या क्वेश्चन है?
बताइए, सॉरी। अच्छा सर, बेसिकली जो की टैगलाइन है सूसी की वो है कि दे आर लुकिंग फॉर स्टूडेंट लीडर्स। सो आपके ख्याल में, मतलब मेरा ये माइंड है कि हमें ज़्यादा लीडरशिप स्किल्स पे लिखना चाहिए ना अपनी। तो डू यू इंडोर्स इट कि हाँ हम ज़्यादा जो अपनी लीडरशिप स्किल्स पे या कुछ ऐसे, जाहिर है वॉलंटियर एक्सपीरियंसेस भी बहुत सारे हो सकते हैं, मे बी 20 भी हो 15 भी हो, तो क्यों ना हम कुछ ऐसा ही ज़्यादा मेंशन करें।
अगेन हमारा वही माइंडसेट होता है ना पाकिस्तानी के, जब लीडरशिप की बात हो या स्टूडेंट लीडर की बात हो तो मतलब उसने कोई बड़ा प्रोग्राम यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर किया हो या अपनी कम्युनिटी के अंदर किया हो. यही माइंडसेट होता है हमारा कि वो लीडर होता है जिसने एक पर्टिकुलर प्रोग्राम को लीड किया हो, उसने टीम बिल्ड की हो और एक टीम को उसने जो है ना बुला के उनको ट्रेन करके और फंड रेजिंग करके और स्पॉन्सरशिप हासिल करके ये बड़ा प्रोग्राम कर दिया और वाह वाह हो गई, तो ये लीडर होता है. इस तरीके से नहीं है. हमें जो है एक इंडिविजुअल अपनी कम्युनिटी के अंदर कोई एक पर्टिकुलर काम कर रहा है, वो 6-7 बच्चों को पढ़ा रहा है ट्यूशन शाम के टाइम में, और या तो एक मेडिकल डॉक्टर है जिसने ऑनलाइन एक अपना पेज बनाया है और वो वहाँ पे फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट अवेयरनेस देता है, तो वो भी एक लीडर है. उसने भी कुछ इनिशिएट किया है, वो भी कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है. लीडर जस्ट वो नहीं होता कि जिसने बहुत बड़ा कोई प्रोग्राम कर लिया तो अब हमें जो है वो सारी लीडरशिप एक्टिविटीज और क्वालिटीज और जो प्रोग्राम से बड़ी लेवल पे वो हमें मेंशन करने हैं. जो भी एक टाइनी चीज हमने इनिशिएट की है, जो हमने सोसाइटी में कंट्रीब्यूट किया है, बिल्कुल माइक्रो लेवल पे भी, हमें उसको बस अच्छे तरीके से पोर्ट्रे करने आना चाहिए। हम बड़ी बड़ी
ओके सर,
चीजों को
थैंक यू
मेंशन करके वो नहीं कर सकते।
जी, थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू।
जी,
नो
नेक्स्ट
प्रॉब्लम।
आवर पार्टिसिपेंट अफनान रिजवान। जी अफनान।
Assalamu alaikum, Mohsin bhai. Hopefully you're doing good. I have multiple questions. The first one is okay, I'm Afnan Rizwan and my background is that I am doing computer science from FAST University Islamabad. So keeping in mind that my field is computer science, which social issues and policies do you think I should target? This is the first question.
All right. So, Afnan, I hope in computer science you are aware about digital rights and digital equity, right? If you are somehow doing work on digital rights or digital awareness, digital literacy, and ethical use of computer, if you are doing such programs and if you are doing sort of activities which are somehow aligned with these themes, you can just mention those themes.
Okay, sir. Sir, I actually had a research idea that is basically based on machine learning and AI, which is basically the use of machine learning and AI to create prosthetic arms for those who are disabled. This is basically a research idea that I was thinking of. I also thought of mentioning this idea in my SOP.
Why not?
Is that good?
This is wonderful idea. Of course, this is bringing change in society, and you are integrating technology for the development of humanity services and a kind of betterment of society. So why not do mention that? And this is something that is aligned with the degree and social cause. So do mention that, and try to portray yourself that you are focusing on these things, and the computer science that they teach us in universities, or the overall computer science policy, if we have or if we do not have. In the US there is might be computer science policy for undergraduate students, or is there any curriculum which is focusing on societal for the betterment of society. So here we just mention very rough idea that I'm doing computer science and I'm working on programming, I'm developing website, etc. But if you are using and utilizing AI and technology, creating prosthetic arms, which is again a very useful idea. So try to portray yourself that you are utilizing technology for the betterment of humanity in that particular theme, and align your all extracurricular activities, portray yourself in your responses, mention these things, compare if there is any policy in the Pakistan or if there is any in the US, compare that, and how if you are giving and getting chance to work on that particular policy, how you are going to integrate technology for the humanity.
Yes, sir. So, sir, just related to both of these questions, can I consider a social issue related to the curriculum of computer science in Pakistan?
Of course, definitely. Curriculum is also sort of, policies get translated into curriculum, and then, in your strategic plan. So curriculum is part of policy. If that is not like, the term is not policy, but again, it's a policy for educational institutes, right? It is giving some instruction to follow for a broader people. That is policy, which is affecting a larger amount of people. So curriculum is a kind of policy which is affecting a larger kind of people. So do mention that there is no such curriculum, and I want to work for the betterment of humanity through computer science by incorporating or updating curriculum of Pakistan, which do not have such policies, which do not which doesn't have any sort of elements of integrating computer science, computer and technology with humanity for the service of humanity, rather than they are just inculcating rough ideas about computer. So, if we compare the curriculum of US with Pakistan, there are these certain elements in particular policy. You can mention that, you can name those policies, and then start working on your questions and working on the prompts of those particular questions that they are asking.
Yes, sir. Sir, another question of mine is that I am also a part of NGO Like we actually have a course of civics and community services in which we are asked to join an NGO and then work for that. I wanted to ask that should I mention that basically that NGOs works on plantation drives, solid waste and stuff that is not directly linked to my field, but still I would consider it as an extracurricular activity or community service. Should I mention that in my SOP?
Of course, you can mention that. Of course, they would be taking, some sort of skills, or they would be asking you to make graphics of that particular plantation drive, or they would be asking you to fill out registration form and other, computer related kind of tasks they would be assigning you, right? So do mention that if uh, if you think like you are working again on technology, based on technology, and you are utilizing your skills, technological skills, and digital skills for the development of that particular NGO, then you should mention it. Why not?
Yes, sir. Sorry for taking some long time. I actually have last two questions left. The first one is that you previously mentioned that uh, sister asked that which thing should we mention in SOP, and you asked and you gave a suggestion that you should mention that most of the women are not going for STEM degrees. Don't you think that this issue is more of a common issue and not an unique issue? Like, should we go for unique issues, or is it also good to talk on common issues? But the problem is that most of the people are also talking on those common issues.
A very good question, Afnan. And yes, in their case, I discussed that she was asking, hey, what kind of women are facing issues, and what kind of issues she should focus on. So STEM was kind of that clicked on in my mind, because currently I'm working on STEM as well. So of course STEM is a generic issue, but if she can manage to make it more specific, like giving a larger statement, giving it a general statement, and then she is bringing it down towards a very specific, unique issue that she is highlighting. Or for instance, even in her own chemical engineering degree, or I'm sure that she was from chemical engineering degree, right? So if she's there, she can correct me. So some women are not motivated to join those particular chemical engineering, because they are considering it kind of is a male dominant domain, right? So in that regard, in that particular situation, I suggested her to mention that generic statement, and then coming forward, like moving forward to the very specific issue that she is highlighting.
Yes, sir. The last question of mine is that I actually joined the session late. I wasn't able to join on time. Just a generic question, that could you please tell the basic structure of SOP? I actually couldn't listen to you
Sure.
from the start. I joined late. You might have discussed it before.
Afnan, yeah, I have already discussed it, but personal statement is very general. In personal statement, there are 4 prompts. So you have to focus on these 4 prompts while you respond to your like you have to respond to those prompts uh, in 250 words. So first prompt is about yourself and your goals, like what background you are coming from, and what are your goals. Obviously they know your name, so do not mention your name, they already know in the beginning of your form. So just mention that what kind of person you are, and what sort of goals you have, and which specific unique perspective you are working on, right? And then second prompt is, why do you think your background and interest make you competitive candidate for this particular program? In that thing, you have to mention your experiences and your activities and your contribution so far, and then in last you can say that these experiences and these skills make me highly competitive candidate for this program. And the third one is, what will you contribute to the group? What kind of experiences and what kind of unique skill set you are bringing for Pakistani group as well as for the Americans, because you would be working with your Pakistani peer mates as well. So what unique skill set and what unique experiences that can be cultural thing as well, your academic things as well, or your extracurricular things as well. For instance, your you are aligning a technology with for the sake of humanity, then here you can tell this thing that I'm bringing this particular element on the table for my fellow SUSI mates and for American peers as well. And then the last question asks you about what kind of particular policy you are focusing on, or they can say that why you want to participate in this particular institute, and what kind of personal and professional change this program is going to bring. So these are prompts that you have to respond to in 250
Okay,
words.
sir.
But I suggested that once you write it, whatever comes in your mind, just write it, because writing is a process, not a product. So just try to write whatever comes in your mind with your natural flow of thoughts, and then sit with a fresh perspective, and then you can concise it and you can get it reviewed from someone.
Okay, sir. So lastly, I had a request that could you please share the whole session in your groups, like just the whole
जी
recording of this session.
अफनान जी अफनान, don't worry if you miss if you miss some part of that session and you join later, this session will be uploaded on the YouTube as well. You don't need to be worried
Okay,
about
okay.
that. This session, I would like to suggest Hamza bin Sajid is a YouTube channel, and you need to subscribe that, or you need to search that. This will be uploaded after a very little time, inshallah. जी
Okay,
next,
okay,
thank
no
you,
problem.
Fran, for making
Thank you so
such
much,
a
Masada.
good contribution. जी Sangeen Khan, जी please put your question here. You are waiting for a long time.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर, आई हैव मल्टीपल क्वेश्चंस। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन तो ये है कि ये जो एप्लीकेशन है, इसमें ये एसओपी और जो दूसरे चीजें, इसमें हाई प्रोफाइल इंग्लिश यूज करना जरूरी है, या जो स्टैंडर्ड और सिंपल इंग्लिश है वो भी काम आ सकता है?
थैंक यू सो मच संगीन खान आपके सवाल के लिए। फर्स्टली इसमें ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आपकी जो लैंग्वेज है वो बिल्कुल हाई फाई होनी चाहिए। आप सिंपल लैंग्वेज में अगर अपने आप को पोर्ट्रे कर सकते हो विद द गिवन पैरामीटर्स, वर्ड लिमिट्स का, और जो प्रॉम्प्ट्स दिए गए हैं, हर सवाल के अंदर एक छोटे और सवाल है, आप इसे समझें। तो अगर आप उन छोटे छोटे एक ही सवाल के अंदर जो छोटे छोटे सवाल आते हैं उनका सिंपल वर्ड्स में सही तरीके से स्पेसिफिक आप जवाब दे रहे हैं, तो और वो आप खुद भी समझ रहे हैं, आप अपने किसी फ्रेंड को पढ़ाएं कि ये मेरी जो बात है ये आपको समझ में आ रही है। अगर उनको समझ में आ रही है तो इट्स इनफ। इंग्लिश हाई प्रोफिशिएंसी का होना जरूरी नहीं है, ऐसे वर्ड का इस्तेमाल करना जरूरी नहीं है जिनकी माना के लिए हमें जो है ना वो डिक्शनरी ओपन करनी पड़े। सिंपल जो हम डेली लाइफ में इंग्लिश यूज करते हैं उसी को यूटिलाइज करना है।
अच्छा सर, दूसरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि ये जो एसओपी का 4 पार्ट्स हैं, जहाँ पर वो एज अ क्वेश्चंस उन्होंने पूछे हैं और इसको जो है हमने 250 वर्ड्स में कंक्लूड करके देना है, तो अगर एक पार्ट जो है उसको हम ज्यादा वर्ड्स में मतलब कंक्लूड कर सके और दूसरे को कम वर्ड्स में, तो ये जो है क्या एप्लीकेशन पे कोई असर डालेगा?
ऐसा तो बिल्कुल भी नहीं है कि ये एप्लीकेशन पे असर डालेगा, क्योंकि 250 वर्ड्स हैं और आपको इन 4 प्रॉम्प्ट्स को रिस्पॉन्ड करना है। उनको पता है कि ये प्रोग्राम किस लिए है और आपकी लाइफ में ये कौन सी कंट्रीब्यूशन डालेगा, जो लास्ट वाला पोर्शन है। तो आप उस पर कम टाइम दें। मोस्टली आप उनको अपने बारे में बताएं, उनके अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस के बारे में बताएं, जो कि 3 ऊपर प्रॉम्प्ट्स दिए गए हैं उनके ऊपर ज्यादा जो है आप थॉट प्रोसेस लगाएं, बजाय कि आप जो है ना जो लास्ट पोर्शन है जिसमें आपको बताना है कि कौन से मतलब हाउ दिस प्रोग्राम इज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू पर्सनली एंड प्रोफेशनली एज अ पॉलिसी मेकर, तो आप उस पर थोड़ा सा कम टाइम दें, क्योंकि इनको पता है कि हाउ दिस प्रोग्राम इज गोइंग टू चेंज यू एज अ पर्सन। तो उन तीनों पोर्शन पे आप ज्यादा टाइम स्पेंड करें, बट देयर इज नो सर्टेन क्राइटेरिया कि एक पर्टिकुलर प्रॉम्प्ट के ऊपर इतना टाइम स्पेंड करना चाहिए या इतनी वर्ड्स स्पेंड करना चाहिए। ओवरऑल आपको 250 वर्ड्स को देखना है।
और सर अगर हमारा एप्लीकेशन इन केस शॉर्टलिस्ट हो भी जाए तो क्या इंटरव्यू में अगर हम सही प्रेजेंट ना कर पाए, लाइक स्पीकिंग प्रॉब्लम हो या मतलब प्रोनाउंसिएशन में कोई प्रॉब्लम हो, तो फिर क्या एप्लीकेशन ड्रॉप हो जाएगा?
सबसे जो डिफिकल्ट मतलब सिचुएशन होती है ना, या सेगमेंट होता है, वो शॉर्टलिस्ट होना ही होता है। अगर आपको शॉर्टलिस्ट किया गया है, विच मीन्स आपकी प्रोफाइल इतनी स्ट्रांग है और यूनिक है कि आपको शॉर्टलिस्ट किया गया है, तो वहां पे आपकी लैंग्वेज को नहीं देखेंगे, वहां पे आपकी आइडेंटिटी को और एक्सपीरियंसेस को देखेंगे। तो उसमें भले आपकी लैंग्वेज टूटी फूटी है, आप मतलब वो समझ जाएंगे कि आपने खुद फॉर्म लिखा होगा ऑब्वियसली, या जो है, हम आजकल टेक्नोलॉजी का दौर है, तो थोड़ी बहुत आपने हेल्प ली होगी, कोई इसमें मसला नहीं है। अगर आपकी एक्सपीरियंसेस यूनिक है, आपकी आइडेंटिटी यूनिक है, ठीक है, तो अगर आप शॉर्ट लिस्ट हो गए हो, तो विच मीन्स देयर इज अ लाइक ग्रीन साइन।
और सर अगर ऐसे मतलब एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज है मेरे जो रिलेटेड टू माय फील्ड नहीं है, लाइक मैं एमबीबीएस स्टूडेंट टू सेकेंड ईयर एमबीबीएस, तो अगर इसके रिलेटेड नहीं है तो यह मुझे हेल्प आउट करेंगे या नहीं एप्लीकेशन?
उनको अगर आप मोल्ड कर सकें किसी ना किसी तरीके से अपनी एमबीबीएस डिग्री से रिलेटेड, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप फोटोग्राफी करते हैं, बट आप कह रहे हैं कि मेरी जो फोटोग्राफी स्किल है, तो वो मैंने हेल्थ के किसी प्रोग्राम में मतलब यूटिलाइज की थी, तो अगेन वो जो आपकी स्किल है वो हेल्थ से ही रिलेटेड हो गई, कि आपने किसी पर्टिकुलर हेल्थ के प्रोग्राम के अंदर आपने फोटोग्राफी की, तो इसको मोल्ड करना है किसी ना किसी तरीके से, जिस तरीके से आपकी वो अलाइंड हो आपकी डिग्री प्रोग्राम से।
ओके, थैंक यू सर।
नो
जी थैंक
प्रॉब्लम।
यू संगीन। नेक्स्ट हमारे जो पार्टिसिपेंट है वो हैं तैयब अली। जी तैयब अली, मेक श्योर करें कि अपने जो क्वेश्चंस हैं वो एक ही बार कर दें, ताकि वो जो टाइम फ्रेम है ना वो मैनेज हो जाए, क्योंकि क्वेश्चन सर बैठे पॉइंट्स पर हाईलाइट कर देते हैं, तो दिस वुड बी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू एंड अदर्स एज वेल। जी तैयब।
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर। सर मेरा फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आपसे जो क्वेश्चन ये है कि मैं बीएस एग्रीकल्चर इंजीनियरिंग का स्टूडेंट हूँ एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी फैसलाबाद से। और जो मेरी डिग्री ख़त्म हो रही है, लास्ट फाइनल ईयर का स्टूडेंट हूँ मैं। मेरी जो डिग्री ख़त्म हो रही है वो जून जुलाई में ख़त्म हो रही है, लास्ट सेमेस्टर जो है। तो क्या मैं एलिजिबल हूँ इस प्रोग्राम के लिए?
तैयब, आप ऐसा करें कि जो वेबसाइट के ऊपर एलिजिबिलिटी टेस्ट है, वो आप एक दफ़ा कर लें। मैं जो है ना, गुलजार से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो ग्रुप में लिंक शेयर कर दे एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया की टेस्ट की, ताकि जो भी स्टूडेंट्स विलिंग हैं इस प्रोग्राम में पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए, वो एक दफ़ा वो टेस्ट जो है वो हल कर दें। अगर वो टेस्ट उनको अलाउ करता है कि वो आगे बढ़ें और अपना फॉर्म कंप्लीट करें, तो विच मीन्स दे आर एलिजिबल। बट क्राइटेरिया ये है कि एटलीस्ट एक सेमेस्टर यहाँ पे पाकिस्तान में रहना चाहिए आपका। तो अगर आपकी जून और जुलाई में डिग्री कंप्लीट हो रही है, तो विच मीन्स आपकी जो पीछे कोई सेमेस्टर नहीं रहता, राइट? तो इसलिए आप एलिजिबल ना होंगे, बट आप फिर भी, मैं ये रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा आपको कि आप एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया की जो टेस्ट उन्होंने इस साल डेवलप की है, आप वो जरूर यूज करें।
जी थैंक यू सो मच। और इसके अलावा सर, अगर मैं उसके लिए एलिजिबल होता हूँ और मैंने क्लास प्रोजेक्ट्स में पार्टिसिपेट किया हुआ, मैंने कुछ क्लास प्रोजेक्ट्स किए हैं अपनी डिग्री के रिलेटेड, उसमें आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के रिलेटेड प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं, जैसे आर्टिफिशियल ऑटोमेटिक ग्रीन हाउस। इसके अलावा सिट्रस फ्रूट ग्रेडिंग मशीन है, ये भी आर्टिफिशियल बेस्ड है। तो मैं जो नेक्स्ट प्रोसीड करना चाहता हूँ वो मैं करना चाहता हूँ रोबोटिक्स में, कि एग्रीकल्चर में हम किस तरह रोबोटिक्स को यूज़ कर सकते हैं, उनका फ़ायदा उठा सकते हैं हम। तो क्या मैं ये मेंशन कर सकता हूँ ये
बिल्कुल।
चीज़ें?
Of course, why not? Because your, degree, your experiences, and your future goals are aligned. उनमें एक, कोहेजन है कि आप एआई और टेक्नोलॉजी को इस्तेमाल करके, रोबोटिक्स को इस्तेमाल करके किस तरह एग्रीकल्चर इंडस्ट्री में बेहतरी ला सकते हैं। तो व्हाई नॉट? इट्स अ ग्रेट एरिया एंड इट्स अ ग्रेट डोमेन।
थैंक यू सो मच सर।
Ji, our participant Wahab, you are waiting for a long time. I know, but you missed your chance earlier. Put your questions.
Okay, no worries. Assalamu alaikum. I have two questions. The first one is um, actually my background is I am a software engineer student. This is my first semester. So my first question is what key documents and requirements should I prepare for the scholarship application process advance?
All right. So you are in your first semester, Wahab.
Yes.
First semester students are not eligible. At least you should be from fourth, at least from fourth semester, fourth, fifth, and sixth. These semester students are highly eligible for it. But just for the sake of your knowledge,
Knowledge.
I want to share that there is no need of any documents that you need to prepare, no need of any transcription, certification, any test. There is no need. Only one word form is everything that you need while applying for this program.
Okay. And my second question is what are the most common mistakes applicants make and how can I avoid them?
Firstly, as I have already mentioned in at a few stages in this particular session, that students they brag about so many things. They list down all the things that they are doing, which do not even align with their degree, or they do not even try to mold those activities so that they can relate with their degree program or with the cause or with the theme that they are focusing on. So do not just list down them, try to mold them and align those experiences with your degree. That for instance, if you have done simply photography or videography for a particular event, just mention that I have given my services as a photographer for this particular program, which is again aligned with the degree program, right? Try to mold every activity so that it can align with your degree program. This is one mistake they mostly do in their form. And the second is specifically while mentioning their email and their phone numbers, they present those which are not active. So try to mention those kind of uh, emails and numbers, even the family members numbers who are active while the shortlisting process of this time. So this is that thing, and do not make generic assumptions and general statements like after coming back to this program I would become policymaker of Pakistan. This is a general statement. You have to be very specific. Again, related with your domain, you have to mention that what particular area and what particular department you would be focusing on, right? So you have to be very specific while responding to your personal statement or your questions.
Thanks for your time.
No problem, Rob.
जी फिजा आपका कोई क्वेश्चन है? फिजा इकराम.
जी मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है, वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन. एज आई एम अ मेंबर ऑफ आईशे व्हिच इज अमेरिकन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ केमिकल इंजीनियर्स, तो मैंने ये पूछना था कि इसका कोई बैड इम्पैक्ट तो नहीं होगा? लाइक अब एप्लीकेशन में ये लिखूंगी, लाइक मैंने अभी ड्राफ्ट में सेव किया हुआ है, तो वो अमेरिकन सोसाइटी ही है, उसके साथ लिंक्ड है, लाइक सेमिनार्स वेब सेमिनार्स कंडक्ट होते हैं, तो इसका कोई बैड इम्पैक्ट तो नहीं पड़ेगा मेरी एप्लीकेशन पे?
Not at all. If you are already linked with somehow, American policymakers or American programs related with your degree program, and your personal statement is aligned with your degree, your experiences are aligned with your degree, and you are mentioning that you are also part of this particular association, it is a great thing to mention. It will boost your
Okay, sir.
personal statement and your application form.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, sir, for your such a great contribution. I would like to mention that this is our 60th session on foreign scholarships and for helping students, and this is one of the finest. No doubt, other speakers were very well, but this session has a very unique diversity and with unique ideas. And the way the people attended that session showed a huge discipline. And I think this is one of the finest moments for us. And I would like to thank again that you people are doing very well. You people are such a beacon house for us. And we wish best of luck for your future, because there are so many things to do. You are in your early stages, and hope you will like पाकिस्तान का नाम रोशन करेंगे for incoming days. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Inshallah, inshallah. Thanks a lot for having me, Gulzar, and thank you so much for such a interactive audience. And I'm glad that I was part of this particular program. And inshallah, in future we will be connected and we will be contributing together for the betterment of our country. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And for the participants, I would like to mention that if you people are willing to join such events, such sessions, you need to follow our scholarship gateway leading by Hamza bin Sajid, and there is a YouTube channel as well, Hamza bin Sajid, and WhatsApp channel Hamza bin Sajid. Like it's a name, it's a brand. So this will helpful for all of you in near future. Thank you and best of luck for all of you. Thanks
Hello,
for
sir.
joining. And again,
Hello.
Yes, I'm a.
Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, I am a PhD student, and in the first slide, you told us that only 18 to 25 years old students can apply to this scholarship. So I am 27 years old. Can age relaxation hai isme?
You're a PhD student.
Yeah, I'm doing PhD.
That's wonderful to know. It's such a a young age you are doing PhD, but this program is for undergraduate students only, those who are pursuing their bachelor's program, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm not eligible for this.
No, you are not. You are highly advanced level student for this program.
Okay, thank you so much.
No worries, no worries.
and yes, sir, it's time to sum up the session. And thank you. And we wish best of luck for you in your future and for the coming future. Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good luck. Allah Hafiz. Take care.
Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. Allah Hafiz.